Hello and welcome. In today's video we'll talk about the Schedule tab of two more basic test types, random and shock. We have already discussed some of the basic functionality of the Schedule tab in our previous video about Sine schedule. If you haven't seen it yet, I've linked the video in the description below. The general layout of the Schedule tab in random test is quite similar to that of the Sine test. The first available command of the random test is run. You can set the number of runs in times or duration of the test in the format of hours, minutes, and seconds. If you enter the value in seconds, the system will automatically recalculate it to our format. The level option allows us to set the profile amplitude multiplier when running a test. I have set the level of 50%, which means that the system will run the test with half the amplitude. You can set level in decibel, times, percent, or G. The other available commands include start and repeat cycle, pause, wait for user command, create report, and save data. We have described these commands in detail in the video about Sine schedule, which you can find in the right-hand corner of the screen right now or in the description below. After setting the schedule, the system will calculate the test time and check that the entered values are within the limits of the shaker. Here is an example of a fully functional random schedule. Now let's take a look at the Schedule tab of the shock test. You should already be familiar with most of the commands in the list at this point, but there are some fundamentally different ones as well. The first command available to you is shock, which replaces the usual run profile command. With this command, the controller sends a shock pulse to the outputs with the parameters you've specified in the pulse tab. For this command, you can specify the number of shocks that will be delivered, the amplitude multiplier of the pulse in percentage, decibel, times, or G, and the period of the pulse in milliseconds or in the format of hours, minutes, and seconds. Do note that the shock period must be greater than the total pulse duration, considering the pre-pulse and post-pulse. In our case, the total pulse duration of the shock test amounts to about 132 milliseconds, and pulse period must be greater than this value. The checkbox Invert Shock allows you to multiply all points of the profile by -1. The other commands, including start cycle, repeat cycle, wait for user command, create report, and save data, work the same way as in Sine and random tests. Here is an example of a fully functional shock schedule. The last notable option in the Shock Schedule tab is Manual Mode. When the Manual Mode checkbox is checked, the system will not run shocks automatically. A hammer button will appear next to the Start button on the control panel. By pressing the button, you can deliver a single shock manually. You can invert shocks in Manual Mode by pressing the corresponding button and turn off Manual Mode by unchecking the box in the control panel. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe to Ruler channel to be notified about our updates and visit our website at www.rulertech.com to learn more about our products. Until next time.